tragedy in Tumbler Ridge.
Our hearts are with the educators, the first responders, the families who have been impacted.
Canada reacts to a deadly school shooting. One man injured by gunfire in Calgary.
It was definitely a targeted shooting.
Police blame organized crime. And hockey fanatics.
There's very little I enjoy more than going to a hockey game.
Across Canada and the U.S. with those who really love their team.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Ian White.
Good afternoon. The tragic details are coming to light in Tuesday's deadly school shooting in Tumbler Ridge, BC. Among the victims, 5 students, a teacher, the shooter's mother and sibling, and the shooter dead from an apparent self-inflicted injury.
Police had attended that residence on multiple occasions over the past several years, dealing with concerns of mental health with respect to our suspect.
RCMP have identified the shooter as 18-year-old Jesse Van Rootselaar. Investigators say they were born as a biological male but identified as female. Police confirm that 9 people were killed at the school and a nearby home, not 10 as originally reported. Among those killed, the suspect's mother, Jennifer Strang, and youngest stepbrother, Emmett. Most of the victims were under the age of 15. About 25 other people were injured. Camilla Di Giuseppe joins us now, and Camilla, hearts are broken right across the country and in Calgary today.
Ian, from the outpouring of grief we've seen so far to flags being lowered at government buildings, Calgarians and Albertans want the community of Tumbler Ridge to know that they are not alone in their grief. Flags outside City Hall are now flying at half-mast as they are outside the McDougall Centre and the Harry Hayes Federal Building in the downtown. This tragedy impacts so many people directly and indirectly, and condolences have been pouring in reflecting that. The Premier on X shared, "I can only imagine the absolute devastation that the students, families, staff, and entire community must be feeling right now." The Alberta Teachers Association statement on the mass shooting reads, in part, "While we are separated by a provincial border, the bonds of the teaching profession know no boundaries." And Calgary's mayor also reflecting on the inconceivable loss of life felt here and across the country.
Our hearts are with the educators, the first responders, the families who have been impacted. It's going to be a long road to navigate this senseless tragedy and loss.
And there are a number of resources available to help people through this difficult time. But also, if you or anyone is in need of support right now, we have those resources available on our website.
Thank you, Camilla. A shooting that injured one man outside a restaurant in our city last night is being linked to organized crime. Tyson Fedor is live along McLeod Trail for us. And Tyson, police are saying this could have ended up much worse.
Well, Ian, that parking lot you can see behind me at this Cactus Club here along McLeod Trail was very busy last night, just before 10 o'clock. That's when gunfire erupted and a man sitting in a vehicle was the target. People rendered first aid to him at the time, but bullets went flying into nearby businesses, shattering several windows and doors. Now, security footage we obtained shows the moment bullets started flying, directly hitting McLeod Nail Lounge. The video accounts for about 17 shots fired. Police found a bullet lodged into the front desk of the salon. Staff at the store there say they were closed and no one was hurt. The victim suffered multiple gunshot wounds and taken to hospital in critical condition. He has since stabilized rather. Now, police believe that he was targeted after leaving Cactus Club. The Calgary Police Service's Organized Crime and Offender Management section has now taken over the investigation.
What I can say, it was definitely a targeted shooting. We're still very, very early in the investigation. So what I would say is having the individuals that we do know that are involved are known to police. It is very early on to say exactly what the motives or the incident leading up to the shooting actually was.
Coming up at 6, we will hear from some of those local businesses that were caught in the line of fire. Anyone with information in regards to this shooting is asked to contact police or Crime Stoppers. Ian?
Tyson, thanks very much. One person has died in a single vehicle crash on 84th Street Southeast early this morning. It happened near 74th Avenue shortly after 2:30. Police believe speed was a factor. They say the BMW left the road, rolled in a ditch, crossed the road again, and came to rest in the opposite ditch. The driver, a man in his 20s, was ejected from the vehicle and died at the scene. One person is in potentially life-threatening condition after a car and a school bus collided this afternoon. It happened on McLeod Trail and 99th Avenue just before 4 this afternoon. Both drivers had to be extracted from the wreckage. The bus driver was taken to hospital in serious condition, but the driver of the silver car is in much more serious condition. Paramedics say there were children on the bus, but none of them were injured. McLeod Trail is closed while the crash is under investigation. And police are investigating after a school bus crash early this morning. Firefighters say just before 8:30, the bus was traveling southbound on Crowchild Trail before 24th Avenue when it lost control. The Calgary School Board says the driver suffered a medical emergency before veering off the road. 2 children were assessed for minor injuries during the collision, and there is extensive damage to the bus itself. Well, Danielle, we've known all along that our long, warm stretch of weather would come to an end, and it's coming pretty soon.
Yeah, we talked about that second half of February being wintry. That's what's in the forecast. But we're not there just yet. So enjoy this loveliness while we have it. Today we got to a high of 8 in the city, and tomorrow will be even warmer. Today came with calm winds in the city, lots of sunshine, a high of 8. We're still sitting at 7 right now. All right, let's fast forward to tomorrow. Your 24-hour forecast is brought to you by Fifth Avenue Volkswagen, family-owned, community-driven. Discover more at Fifth Avenue Volkswagen. Maybe dipping just below that freezing mark tonight, if not to the freezing mark itself. So a mild night overall. Starting tomorrow morning when off to work and school at 3 degrees, which is a lot warmer than what we've had for the past couple mornings. We're going to have calm winds for the early morning hours, but by about 10 in the morning, the winds will start to kick up and gust up to 40 kilometers per hour. That will kick us up to 11 degrees in the afternoon. Your full forecast is just ahead, Ian.
Thanks, Danielle. An orphan black bear cub is receiving care from an animal rescue organization north of Calgary. The bear was found in poor health while attempting to den on someone's deck in Slave Lake. The Alberta Institute for Wildlife Conservation in Madden has taken him in, weighing half the healthy weight for a cub his age. He also had injuries to his paw and nose. Staff suspect the mother was killed and says without her guidance, the cub could not hibernate on its own. They hope to release the cub back into the wild in June. Calgary police officers are once again zeroing in on social disorder downtown. Next, why they say it's not just about law enforcement, but building relationships. And blanket rezoning back on the agenda at City Hall. Why Calgary could lose federal funding. Also, if you have a news tip for us, text us at 10400. Calgary police and several other law enforcement agencies flooded the downtown core today in yet another major safety sweep targeting crime, drug activity, and social disorder. Mark Villani is live downtown with more. And Mark, what did police accomplish today?
Well, Ian, this was the second round of a police sweep called Operation Order, and in just 6 hours, officers were able to respond to 140 calls for service. They charged 6 people with multiple offenses. All at the same time, they conducted nearly 200 community engagements. Meanwhile, dozens of others were given social supports and other resources for housing or other addiction resources that they might need. It was all about a dual focus on enforcement and outreach. Now, the operation ran throughout the day across the downtown core and surrounding areas. Multiple agencies took part, with officers addressing alleged criminal activity, bylaw violations, and transit-related concerns. Now, police say the initiative is data-driven and responds directly to community safety complaints, but law enforcement is also highlighting the importance of those strong relationships that they're trying to build, saying this approach isn't meant to stigmatize, but instead to build trust amongst the city's most vulnerable.
We don't want to put people in jail unless we have to. There's many of these individuals who they don't belong in jail, they don't belong in a hospital, they don't want to go to places like the drop-in center. It's about those different root causes, and it's about working together to help these individuals so that they can live a healthy, happy life. But it's not about us versus them. We're all in this together.
Now, police say the stats from today's operation are still considered preliminary. They'll provide final figures at some point tomorrow. Officials are also still encouraging Calgarians to report crime, saying that the more you report these issues, the more police can help out. Ian.
Thank you, Mark. Calgary is at risk of losing more than $800 million in federal funding if blanket rezoning is completely repealed. That's according to a new report presented to a city committee today. Officials say some or all of the $861 million Calgary is in line to get from the Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation could be lost. In order to get the money, the city's agreement with Ottawa lays out housing targets it needs to meet. Some councillors say the city is far exceeding those targets, with only a fraction due to blanket rezoning.
There's a lot of elements in the agreement that we are complying with, including providing non-market housing. Those things, I think we are still covering it. They're not subject to the blanket zoning approval. Only small elements of the funding are directly tied to the blanket zoning.
Council will hold a public hearing on blanket rezoning next month and could vote to scrap the changes altogether. Danielle, looking ahead to the weekend, it will be quite a bit cooler than the last weekend was.
Yeah, last week we had record-breaking heat. This week, not record-breaking. Tomorrow will be close enough. But then after that, we start our slow decline. You'll definitely notice a difference by the weekend. Our daytime highs will still be above freezing for both days of our weekend. And then after that, well, we dip. And we dip a lot. You'll really notice it. It will feel like winter. You might even have to do some shoveling again. Okay, 48 kilometers per hour. That was the max gust in Pincher Creek. Pretty quiet for Pincher Creek considering. And 28 in Medicine Hat. So today, the winds were relatively calm. They're going to pick up tomorrow in the city, gusting closer to 40 kilometers per hour. And south of the city, looking at 60 kilometer per hour gusts. All right, today's high, 8 in the city. Not bad. 9, for February. 9 for Lethbridge and Milk River and Brooks. 8 was the high in Medicine Hat and 7 in Pincher Creek. Fast forward to temperatures right now. We're still holding on to a lot of warmth in the city. 7 degrees right now in Calgary. 8 in Lethbridge. 6 Brooks to Medicine Hat and down in Milk River. Okay, so we've had a ridge of high pressure in place. We had a very strong one in place last week, which is why we had record-breaking warmth. This time, it's not quite as organized as it was last week, but it's been enough to get us up to 8 today and likely double digits tomorrow. And then it's going to start to shift down. So while we have sunshine today, we're going to have a decent amount of sunshine for tomorrow as well. After that, the jet stream is going to start to shift down. We'll really notice it by the weekend. That's going to allow for two main things. One, a cooler air mass to creep in, and not just creep in, but settle in for a long time. We're also looking at, because the jet stream is the storm track, all the cloud cover that's been redirected up and around us will be directed to us, including snowfall, which is what we'll see, especially next week. We may even see a little bit on the weekend. All right, fast forward for the next couple of days, we're really just looking at sunshine with cloudy periods at times. Saturday, some snow will start to build into the mountains, and we may even see a couple flurries here. Small chance of seeing that Saturday morning in the city. 30% chance. Our greater chance is next week. All right, look at that. 11 degrees for tomorrow. Make the best of it because, yeah, it cools down from here. Okay, winds around 40 kilometer per hour gusts for tomorrow. Then 8 for Friday, 3 for the weekend. Small chance of those flurries Saturday morning. And then a good chance of snow arriving Monday night. Monday, a high of 0. And next week, our daytime highs will be well below freezing.
Southern Alberta Veterinary Emergency Clinic in Okotoks hosted a doggy blood drive today. 13 dog heroes donated. They were pampered with treats, ice cream, and a photo shoot. Each donation takes about 10 minutes and can save up to 3 lives. The Canadian Animal Blood Bank says blood is needed for a variety of reasons in veterinary medicine.
Trauma, in case of dogs, it could be parvovirus, von Willebrand's disease, hemolytic anemias, cancer therapy treatments, toxicities. So there's lots of different uses for the blood.
Durkis says there's always a need for new donors. A dog is eligible if they're over 55 pounds, 1 to 8 years old, up to date on their vaccines, are in good health, and have a calm temperament. More information can be found on CanadianAnimalBloodBank.ca. Former Kids in the Hall star Dave Foley has had plenty of great gigs over the years, but this one might be the best. Still ahead, he tells us about meeting fans and watching games in several NHL cities. Surprisingly high job numbers out of the U.S. today. Joining me is Liana Wachniak, investment advisor with the Popwich-Carmally Advisory Group. And Liana, it turns out the U.S. is still creating plenty of jobs.
That's right. And the number largely came from a number of positions that were not vacated after the holidays. So basically what happened was retailers and delivery companies often hire new people for the holiday rush, but they didn't lay off as many heading into the January period. So we actually saw the U.S. jobs numbers grow by an additional 130,000 jobs. Economists were looking for about 70. So that was a major miss for expectations there, way higher than we were looking for. But also we saw unemployment in the U.S. fall from 4.4% to 4.3%. So it looks like the labor market is a little bit stickier. It has a little bit more there than we were initially expecting. This did play into the trade today because this kind of can be taken in one of two ways. One is that it's a good news story in the sense that the labor market is stronger than expected. The other one is that it does leave the U.S. Fed a little bit more room to pause on interest rates for a little bit longer because the labor market doesn't look like it's under as much pressure as was initially thought. So if that means they're pausing on interest rates, it means lending for corporations could be more expensive for longer, which put downward pressure on the market today. So we saw that tension play out in today's trade.
And Ottawa-based Shopify reports some pretty decent growth too.
That's right. And it was a 30% jump in year-over-year orders. Now, they did miss a little bit on the expectations, but one of the really interesting things to come out of this report was their AI integration. So basically, they've created partnerships with OpenAI's ChatGPT, with Google Gemini, and with Microsoft Copilot to help show Shopify merchants as responses in these chats in order to get people to the Shopify platform to buy products from these merchants. We saw a 15 times increase in the number of purchases made through Shopify through an AI agent between January of 2025 and January of 2026. So people are clearly getting increasingly comfortable with purchasing the things recommended to them by the chatbots.
All right. Thanks for the update.
Thank you.
Fear and anguish, followed by questions that may never be answered after a school shooting in BC. Here's Tara Nelson with a look ahead to CTV News at 6.
Hi, Ian. We know a little bit more about the victims and the shooter in this tragedy tonight, but we still do not yet know a motive. We'll have reaction as people across the country reach out to support Tumbler Ridge. Also ahead, organized crime could be linked to a shooting outside a Calgary restaurant. At 6, we'll hear from surrounding businesses about their concerns. Ian.
Thanks, Tara.
I'm Dave Foley, actor, comedian, and lifelong hockey fan.
Oh my God, this is fantastic.
Are you a die-hard hockey fan? Probably not like this. Comedian and actor Dave Foley takes a close look at some of the most ardent fans in North America and some celebrity fans too. And Hockey Fanatics now streaming on Crave. And joining me from Toronto is Dave Foley. Great to meet you.
Well, nice to meet you too. How's it going?
Oh, it's going great. Now, you went to 8 different NHL cities. You met with a lot of people in each city, spent a couple of days there, saw a game in each one. It sounds like a bucket list dream for a lot of people. How much fun did you have doing it?
Well, I mean, there's very little I enjoy more than going to a hockey game. So it was fantastic to be able to, not only just go to the games, but have the access to the players, both current and alumni, and to meet the local fans, and to get a chance to explore the places where hockey fans hang out in those cities. It was great. It was really good fun.
Now, you feature Mike Myers, another Torontonian, another Maple Leafs fan. We already knew that he was a big hockey fan. Which to you was the biggest surprise amongst all your celebrity guests?
Oh, I think Winona Judd, I guess, would be the most surprising. Yeah, because I didn't expect that she would be a big hockey fan. But she was, she and her husband Cactus. And they were delightful to hang out with, too. But it was a little surprised. I was surprised both that she was a hockey fan and that she had heard of me. So both of those were lovely surprises.
To see my extended interview with Dave Foley, visit ctvnewscalgary.ca. There is cooler weather on the horizon, a return to winter coming up after the weekend. Danielle has the details coming up. Right now, though, pretty warm in Calgary at 7 degrees. Winter's coming back. Don't worry.
It is. Get the shovel ready, the parka, all
everything
of it. For next week, yeah.
Okay.
We need moisture.
Yes.
Okay, 7 is the current temperature today. Our high was 8. The record 14.4 for this day, so we're not record breaking, but we'll be somewhat close tomorrow as we get to 11 degrees. It will be a little breezy, gusts around 40 kilometers per hour. Then we start our slow decline. We're going to be eased into winter. 8 in winter, 8 for Friday, then 3 for the weekend, and then check out next week. By Friday, minus teens for a daytime high.
Okay, thanks, Danielle. An 86-year-old Calgary woman fulfilled a long-held dream today, seeing the mountain where her husband and daughter's ashes were scattered. Louise Barnett couldn't make the climb up Hauling Peak, so she flew there instead. Her husband and daughter died a year apart during the pandemic. Family members carried a portion of their ashes to the summit of the peak near Canmore, but the steep hike was too much for her. Barnett lives at the Rocky Ridge Retirement Community. Through the Residence's Wish program, staff arranged a donated flight out of Springbank Airport. She flew there today on a clear and beautiful morning, circling the peak with her daughter.
We circled Mount Hayling 2 or 3 times, and I saw where my husband and daughter's ashes were placed. So on the whole, it was really nice. It was another closure, but it was a happy closure again.
Dispersing a loved one's ashes is allowed in Alberta provincial parks, but there are rules to protect the environment. We have links to those guidelines on our website at ctvnews.ca or ctvnewscalgary.ca. Thank you for joining us. Now here's the early edition of the CTV National News.